Gotta fix the cam sets. Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome in to another episode of the Full Send Half Mast podcast here on a nice, fine, final Tuesday of September. Damn, dude, that's crazy to think of, dude. It's already almost October. God, this year's been flying by. 1 month closer to Dega. Hell yeah. Oh, man. This should be a fun podcast. We're going to be talking about the NASCAR races this weekend at Kansas Motor Speedway. The second race of the second round for the Cup Series, the World Dirge Championship penultimate race at Fuji. Not a super compelling race, but there's a few moments in this race I do want to talk about, especially in regards to the championship coming up in the final round of the season next month. So we'll talk about that, maybe give a preview for what we think is going to happen there. A little bit of news, drivers of the week, boneheads of the week. As always, we'll go over the standings in the Cup Series and what our predictions are going into the Roval, who's going to be eliminated, who's going to be moving on, as well as some previews for this weekend's races. We got the ARCA Series Championship or season finale at Toledo, Xfinity Truck and Cup, like I mentioned, at the Roval this weekend. And then F1's back at Singapore. Can Max Verstappen close that championship gap? We'll let you guys know here tonight. Tom kind of hinted at that a few podcasts ago. And holy cow, is it almost about to come into fruition? We'll give you our picks, our favorites, our dark horses, what to expect, what's going to happen this weekend in these races, as well as notable entries. And then we'll cap it off with our fantasy picks. All right, Tom, you're back. How you doing, man? I feel that. Yeah, I went on a lot of rants last week, and I had Tim Henderson and Kyle Hendricks in the chat, and they were egging me on. So it was kind of fun last week in the podcast. I don't know if they're back tuned in this week, but man, that was fun going on some of those rants that I went on last week. But I'm sure we'll have some more we can go on this week as well. So let's get into it. News. We did talk about some of the NASCAR news last week, but I think we should talk about Mick Schumacher. IMS test at Indianapolis. I think October 13th. I think is what that text said or whatever, that little text bill. Do you think this is gonna materialize in anything in IndyCar? I don't see it personally. I don't see it. Yeah, dude. The irony. Yeah, I don't see it either, man. Like, he basically turned down an F1 reserve driver job just to sign full time with Alpine moving forward in World Dirt Championship. Why would he go to IndyCar now? Like, that just doesn't make sense. Yeah, good question. I have no idea. Because if it's money, he would have made way more money as an F1 reserve driver. And if it's also money, he would make more money being an IndyCar driver than a World Dirt Championship driver. I don't know. I don't know. It feels like money can't be the motivating factor. Is it? I don't know. Is it maybe he knows? Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, it's really weird to me. I'm excited to see what he does in the test, though. I'm gonna definitely be checking out and see what his times are and everything. See if he's competitive, uh, compared to anybody else at the test. So it'll be interesting to see. But I don't think this can materialize in anything. One thing I do find interesting though is Kyle Collette potentially rumored to Foyt 2026. I mean, there is that empty slot. I've been rumoring that maybe VK was gonna get that seat. Now it sounds like Kyle Collette. I mean, Kyle Collette's got talent. We saw it last year. We saw it this year. He could win races, given the right opportunity, the right equipment. And he never had like the top-notch equipment in the NXT. He was always like that second or third team, and was able to win and compete at the front of the championship standings. Uh, I don't know. Is this win for Foyt, win for Kyle Collette, loss for Foyt, loss for Kyle Collette, loss all the way around, win, double win? Like I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this either. I agree. No. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. I like the VK hire too because when you had Malukas and Ferrucci there, like you were nailing the ovals. You were a little bit off on the road and street courses. Malukas kind of carried the banner there for him a little bit. But you bring in a guy like VK, he's experienced. He is a race winner in IndyCar. It's hard to think of that knowing that he has a win, but what he did last year, Del Coin, the momentum's there. It feels like there's another fire. I think that's the right choice. If they go anything other than uh the route of a VK, I think they're making a big mistake. I think Kyle Collette's IndyCar talent worthy. I think we could agree on that. I just don't know if the Foyt deal is the right. Maybe like he needs to go like the route of like Joseph Newgarden. Go fill in at like that second seed over there at Del Coin, like Lucas did. Prove yourself a little bit. Move forward with that. That's the way I feel. Also, yeah. Did you have anything else to add to that? I kind of cut you off, my bad. Yeah. All I could say is this IndyCar silly season has been fun, man. I'm not gonna lie. This IndyCar's been keeping me on my toes, man. And that was another thing too, before we round off on this next little bit of rumor that just popped up on our timeline thanks to Dallas Seward, here about 10, 15 minutes ago. The IndyCar driver grades podcast. Maybe not next week because I'm going to be coming back from vacation, so I won't have a time to set that up and prepare that. But let's plan 2 weeks from to this Tuesday. We'll do an IndyCar driver grades segment at the end of our podcast. So stay tuned. We're gonna have some fun with that. Uh, all right, Tom. I alluded to it. Dallas kind of posted this in the Discord. I don't know how true this is. I don't know how much room or stock to put into this. But can you imagine Richard Childress retiring, bro? What else is he gonna do? Yeah, Austin Dillon? No, he retired last year. Yeah, it's gotta be Dillon. Not Austin Dillon, but his dad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would have thought so too. But he retired last year, so it's like he's retired. So it's gonna be Dillon is gonna run it now, potentially. Who else is there? Who's the competition director there now? I have no idea. We have Randall Burnett leaving, which is like their cornerstone crew chief that they have. They retained Justin Alexander on the three. Like, there's a lot going on at RCR behind the scenes that is kind of weird, especially with Colleague now in the sister program with them, and now they're switching to Dodge. Like, what is going on at RCR, bro? There's a lot of weird stuff. All the driver fines and penalties they've had, getting eliminated from the play. Like, RCR is in a weird place right now, and I don't know how they're going to crawl their way out of this, especially with this potential rumor of Childress retiring. What is the future of RCR? Where is the direction they go? What like how much longer is Kyle Busch going to sit there and just wash his legacy? Like you know what I mean? Like who is Jesse Love ever going to get the call up to Cup? Is Austin Hill ever going to move up to Cup? Like what's going on at RCR, man? That's what that's the first thing that comes to my mind with this rumor. Keith Oden. Never heard of this guy in my life. Oh, Keith Roden? Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah. He was a crew chief for a long time ago. Yeah, maybe that's the next in line. I just can't see it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like what does Childress always say? Blood is family's deeper than blood or whatever's deeper than thick in the water or whatever the hell he says. Like, I just don't see anybody else besides family running this thing, you know? They don't know. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. If that does come to true and that announcement does happen, wow. Could be a changing of an era over at RCR. All right, let's start off race replay or recaps for this weekend. ARCA Series, Brendan Queen wins again. Pretty dominant race. Corey Day, let's talk about him. Had a really good race going on. He was probably him and Gio Ruggiero were probably the two closest to competition there to Brendan Queen this race. Same with LeVar Scott. LeVar Scott ends up hitting the wall. It's the story of his season. Been so close, just can't get the job done. He ends up having a tire go down, losing multiple laps. Then Corey Day ends up having no engine issues that takes him out of contention of the race, running up in the top three. It's like even if he does have a good run, he gets shadowed by something like this. I don't know. I mean, we've talked about Corey Day. We've kind of beaten that horse dead around this channel for a while now. But I feel like I have to mention it. He did have a really good race. I mean, he was competing with Brendan Queen for the race lead most of that race. Passed him a couple times under green flag conditions. But Brendan Queen, unstoppable, unstoppable force, the immovable force. Wins again, locks up the champion. I mean, it's over. I mean, he's already got the championship, but it's like, damn. I mean, what do we see for Brendan Queen next year, man? We keep talking about trucks with Call League would be a potential. I don't know. I have no idea. And I don't know what Corey Haim's gonna do. I don't think Toyota knows what he's gonna do. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, yeah, I would too. I mean, honestly, I would probably if I was Brendan Queen, I'd probably go to the Ram deal. To be honest. Yeah, the only thing with Ram is with Toyota, you just look at Corey Heim, probably the best talent Toyota has, can't find a spot for him in the cup. That's true. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you're either go to Toyota knowing that you can win, but potentially no opportunity in cup. You could go to Ram, new deal. Maybe they expand a cup in the future. You have a lifetime ride there. I mean, that's a tough decision, dude. That's a tough decision. I don't know how that's gonna play out. I think Tim Henderson said, I think we decided last week, me, Tim, and Kyle, we decided the lineup for Dodge Ram next year, five driver lineup, was going to be Haley Deegan, Tony Breidinger, Frankie Muniz, Cletus McFarlane, and who was the fifth one? I can't even remember now. It might have been LaJoy. It might have been somebody different. I think we picked like all like social media influencers, movie stars, models, and go kart track enthusiasts. In NASCAR. Yeah. Yeah. That whole idea is just ridiculous. Oh, it was Big Willie Mullins. That was the fifth driver. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Can you imagine if Ram wheels that lineup out to the track at Daytona next year in 2026, bro? That would be the best. I'm not gonna lie. That would be must-watch television. Oh, 100%. And then especially if they hired you and me and gave us an unlimited production budget and we created our own Netflix drama. We could do it. We can do it. That'd be awesome. If they gave us an unlimited freaking production budget, dude, we'd have the best TV drama of all time, dude. You know the sound bites we would get out of Cletus McFarland? And then we could just take a day out to Haley Deegan's go-kart track and just film her and her boyfriend ripping her little go-kart track. You know how many people tune in to watch that shit? That's messed up, man. They would. They would tune in, dude. It's like right now to watch that shit. Right now. And then just follow Bridinger around to like Vogue stuff and whatever the hell else she's doing. You know, people would watch that. People would watch it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, you would get tons of views, dude. I mean, you would get views from all demographics, dude. Like, I feel like you would touch the rednecks in the Alabama, Bama man lands. You would touch the people of like, what is it, Hollywood or Boulevard or whatever. You'd hit that audience. Then you'd hit like the simp audience of rural America, and then you would hit like the audience of like millennials or what like the people that grew up with like Frankie Muniz and Malcolm in the Middle. You have that audience too because they'd want to see what Frankie's doing. And then Big Bully Mullins would just be like the heart of the show because it would be like this dude is just a weirdo and like I'm sure he's probably a nice guy. I don't know, but I mean he would resonate with also more of the Alabama Bama Southern mans. I know. Yeah. And then if we could just get one foreigner, if we could start a 16 car truck, we could get like a guy from like Brazil or something. Yeah, like a Jean Girard type. Like, let's go find a gay Filipino guy. Put him in a race car, you know? I'm just saying, bro. We can, dude, it's solid. This is a great TV venture. I hope Netflix is listening. Except you have to pay us for the idea. Alrighty. I've got nothing else to add. Oh, one more thing to ARCA race. Shout out to Taylor Reimer. P5? Really? P5 Taylor Reimer? Dude, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Like her entire racing experience boils down to dirt short midget, like short track midget racing. She jumps in an ARCA car and finishes 5th at Kansas. That's unbelievable. I'm just gonna say right now, I think that's unbelievable. Is this a once in a lifetime shot in the pan fluky deal? I have no idea. But maybe we'll get more starts by her in the future. Maybe it wasn't a fluke deal. Maybe Taylor Reimer has a little bit of talent. I don't know. I'm not gonna go on a limb and put my reputation on it, but damn, that's impressive. That is impressive. You can't take that away. I'm gonna nominate her for driver of the week. Alrighty. Saturday Xfinity Series, Kansas Lottery 300. Let's just talk about it, right? Justin Allgaier dominates the race, and then at the end of this race, with 40 laps to go, we got a caution, and so Justin Allgaier decides to stay out on old tires. And ends up falling back to like 12th, 14th at the end of the what the hell was that strategy call? Everybody else pitted, but then after dominating the race. Yeah, 100%. And then they asked him after the race, and they're like, "What was that strategy?" And they're like, "Well, we had only one set of tires left, and we're banking on a caution late in the race, and we could put the new tires on." But then again, you're what 14th. You're gonna pit. You're gonna go to the back of the field. Are you gonna really on the new set of tires and in a 5 to 8 lap shootout at the end gonna run it back to the field? It's stupid. Why would you not? Why would you do the opposite of everybody else when you're the leader with the best car? It doesn't make any sense to me. That was the stupidest thing, man. Yeah. It's like you're playing defense when in an offensive playoff. Like that just made no sense. Sam Mayer did the same thing, but but he didn't have as good a car as Allgaier did. So like I could see why maybe. Well, but I still can't see why. I don't. Why would you leave the? You've already bought the damn tires. You've got an extra set. Just take the set. Win the race. We race to win the race. Yeah. No. No, not with a 40 lap stint to end the race after you've already ran 20 laps in the final stage. Like, yeah, it didn't make any sense. That was a stupid call. Other things in this race. Um, no, that's it. I mean, that's it. Oh, I was gonna talk about Zilich. Zilich, 15 straight top 5 finishes, ties the record with Sam Ard for all time in the Xfinity Series. One race away from a top 5. One next race against top 5, he has the record for the most top 5s in a row. That's crazy, dude. As a rookie, bro. That's crazy. I mean, if you're not believing Zilich is the best talent NASCAR has probably ever seen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to go on a limb. I'll say he's better than Jeff Gordon already. Yeah. Yeah. Early retirement, IndyCar opportunity. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I mean, I guess what it's going to be the big telltale for me, Tom. Sure, it's the Xfinity Series, but you look at Jeff Gordon's 1993 rookie season. If people go back and watch that season, how many freaking races did Jeff Gordon wreck? Like half the races, he ended up freaking wrecking that race car. It wasn't until 94, halfway through 94, he finally figured it out, and that's when he became the Jeff Gordon we know now. Now, if we get Zilich goes into the Cup next year and wrecks half the races and tears up a bunch of shit, then maybe we'll put him on the same level as Jeff Gordon. But right now, dude, if he goes in the Xfinity next year or a Cup Series next year, and let's say he wins one race and doesn't wreck and gets a bunch of top 10s, makes the playoffs, and has this fantastic round of 12 run or something, dude, he is the next thing. Like that's like that would like honestly, if he can make the round of 12 next year, winner, that's it. That's all he has to do for me. If he makes the round of 12 next year, that is like probably the greatest rookie season we've seen in modern history. Oh, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be unbelievable. Yeah, it's gonna be absolutely unbelievable. And they want to take road courses away. Do you know what's gonna happen next year, Tom? When we see those two battle at every road course race next year, and they're just these absolute banger races, people are gonna be like, okay, yeah, we take it back. We want more road courses. Like we've been telling them. Yeah, that's true. Because Larson and Elliott aren't winning. So, yeah, dude. They do screw everything up. Yeah, that's another thing I do want to talk about, too. Let me write it down before we forget. I want to talk about TV ratings in NASCAR because that seems to be a topic I see on my freaking timeline feed a lot recently, and I've got some ideas on that. Okay. Brandon Jones locks himself into the round of 8. Unbelievable. So we'll see how that progresses. Is this the final race at the Roval? Is this the cut race? Let me look. Let me go to. It is? Okay, so let's look at the standings. Let's make our predictions then for the Xfinity playoffs. Yep, cut off line. 4 drivers eliminated after the Roval. So it's a cut race in all the series this weekend. All of them lined up for once. Zilich, 105-point lead to the cut line. He is, that's like a 2-race gap. He's locked. Allgaier 68, I think that's a lock. I think Mayer even at 43, I think that's a lock. I can't see somebody getting more than 43 points. 60's max. I think he'll be fine. Taylor Gray, 16 up. If he has a good, I think if he races for stage points, I think he'll be fine. Sheldon Creed, 12 up. I think same deal with him. Him and Taylor Gray, I think if they race for stage points and then they get like a top 15 finish, I think they'll both advance. Now, when it comes to Jesse Love and Carson Quapple, 9 and 15, 9 and 5, they've got to race for stage points and get like top 10 finishes. Sammy Smith, 14 back. I think that's a must win. I don't, especially with everybody else around him racing for points, I don't think he'll be able to close that gap. Same, I think Harrison Burton doesn't have the speed to race for stage points, nor race for the win. So I think he's got to, or race up front all day. I think that's a must win. Balls to the walls effort there. Austin Hill at 7 back and Sanchez at 5 back. I think they can race for stage points and then try to race further up. If they can get more stage points than Carson Quapple and Jesse Love in those first 2 stages and put it like where you're down by like 5, that's something they can climb back from. Do you see any of, I guess my question is, anybody above the cut line currently you don't think makes it? Or do you think the 8 that are in now are going to be the 8 that advance? Yeah, I agree. Right. I think he can. I agree. Yeah, I don't either. I mean, honestly, I'm with you with the Quapple. I think Quapple and Sanchez are gonna flop, and I think that'll be your 8. That's kind of what I'm thinking. That one team's trending way down. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Quapple has been that team is trending down really all season. They started off so strong. Man, that's a lot of pressure to put on someone like that. Nick Sanchez, if you guys remember that 48 car here last year, granted it had a different driver in it, was really fast and should have won the damn race. Kind of got screwed out of that. And I think Nick Sanchez could definitely they've got the notes. I think they could be a threat this weekend. All right, let's talk about the 6 hours of Fuji real quick. Alpine. I called it, dude. As my dark horse pick last Tuesday, I said Alpine was going to win. Granted, I picked the 36 Alpine, but the 35 won. It don't matter. The sister car gets the job done. Great job. I mean, the French have got to be elated this weekend, man. Peugeot finishes P2 and Alpine wins. I mean, that is insanity, bro. Like the French they might start the Revolution 2.0 this week, dude. Like everybody keep your eyes. Yeah. On their faggots. They're gonna be protesting around the Eiffel Tower this week about how great they are. It's gonna be crazy, dude. Man, what is that little river or whatever that flows through Paris? I can't remember. They were gonna try and swim in the Olympics there, but they couldn't get it cleaned out enough because it was all shit water. Yeah, yeah, that thing's not even gonna be brown. That's gonna have a new shade of black, dude. This week, dude, they're just gonna be shitting in the water, dude, having a good old time. Oh man, great week for the French, man. They got the win with Alpine and Peugeot P2. I can't believe that actually happened, dude. I did not expect Alpine or Peugeot to actually win a race or even get podiums, regardless of winning one. But damn, maybe they're building something. I do. I do want to say something here about the 007 Aston Martin team. God, did they make some clowns of themselves. It was Harry Tignall behind the wheel early in the race, like I don't even know, like 15 minutes into the race, locks up into turn one and just absolutely TKOs the BMW. Just, I mean, it was bad. They goes over the radio and starts bitching. I got on the bridge, blah, 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 like just making excuses. Like, dude, you're just an idiot, bro. You made a mistake. And then after that happens, Tom Gamble gets behind the wheel of the car on cold tires and just absolutely just sends it into the barricade, man. Like, not only did they wipe out the BMW, they wiped themselves out. So, I mean, that's going to be a nominee for me. The 007 made themselves. Like, if you guys go watch the highlight video, because I watched part of the race, like maybe an hour or so of the race, like in the middle part, but then I wouldn't watch the highlight video. And it was a 15-minute highlight video. And 9 minutes of this highlight video consisted of this 007 Aston Martin making complete asses of themselves. So that's going to be a nominee. And it didn't matter who's behind the wheel either. So the 007, that entire team is going to get nominee for Bonehead of the Week. That was just a pitiful performance by a team that can't afford to have a pitiful performance. This team is dog water. Let's just be quite honest about this. They're not good. And they're getting better. I mean, we've seen some glimpses in IMSA. Not really in the World Endurance Championship side, but in IMSA, we've seen glimpses of them competing. Not this weekend. Terrible weekend. Also, Marciello in the number 15 BMW, after getting ran over by the 07, ends up getting his stint done, puts on those fresh, cold tires, and absolutely TKOs the wall himself. So those were our major incidents in the race. Not much to talk about with LMGT3. I don't know if Valentino Rossi was in hibernation. I don't know if he wasn't racing. We didn't have any big, awesome, spectacular moments with him on the race that put him on the map last year. That was unfortunate. But the Corvette, I think we called that one, Tom. We knew Corvette was going to win this race. I mean, that was pretty cut and dry there. But it's the 81 Corvette that won, the sister car to the 33. Ends up getting the win in LMGT3. And then when it comes to championship standings, we thought it was over, dude. We thought Ferrari was done. Well, Ferrari hasn't shown up the last two rounds. And that has allowed Porsche to climb back into this championship fight. Right now, there's 3 cars mathematically eligible to win the Drivers' Championship. The number 51 AF Corsa, they've got a 13-point gap over the Ferrari team, who's got a 13-point gap out of the number 83 AF Corsa. And then the number 6 Porsche with Estre and Vantor has climbed back into it, only 21 points back, still mathematically eligible to win this World Endurance Championship. Tom, we are setting up for a crazy final round. AF Corsa versus Ferrari versus Porsche. Who wins the championship, man? Who gets it done? I agree. It's so obvious, man. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's gonna be a crazy race, dude. So they run off the same points format as Formula One. So basically, if Porsche wins, they'll max out with 25 points. And then what would it be if the AF Corsa team and the Ferrari team finish what, 8th or worse or 7th or worse for Porsche wins the championship? If I'm Roger Penske, I'm entering both my IMSA cars in that final round. I'm I'm about to say, dude, we could get all 4. We could finish top 4 here. That would lock them out. And then you got to pray Cadillac pulls their head out of the sand and they finish right behind you. And then maybe Alpine and Peugeot go mix it up. Or you could just wreck them lap 1. Yeah. Yeah, dude, put Blaney in it. Yeah, I can't wait to get into the Denny Hamlin rant. That's next. Oh man, you're already opening up a lot. But yeah, another great race for World Endurance Championship. Comical actions there out of Hypercar with the 007 will nominate him. The number 15 BMW having their issues, and then Alpine, unbelievable. I still can't believe Alpine won. That's just absolutely insanity to me. All right, let's move on to the Cup Series race. Probably why most people are here. Let's talk about it. Denny Hamlin dominates the race, loses power steering at the end, loses lots of positions on pit stops, ends up walling Bubba Wallace at the end, gets hit by Chase Elliott. There's a lot to talk about here, Tom. I guess let's get this rant out of the way first off here. I can't stand Denny Hamlin, and this is why. I called it last week on the podcast, and I said, Denny Hamlin is officially not winning the championship because of what happened at New Hampshire with him wrecking his teammate Ty Gibbs. I said, this is the typical Denny Hamlin move that happens every fucking year he's in the playoffs that cost him the championship. Every year he loses his damn brain, loses his mind, and does something stupid like this. He can't get it out of his head, and then it continues to snowball week after week until he finally loses the championship. And I said, this is the start. I was like, I had him in my championship 4 until last week in New Hampshire when I watched him do that crap to Ty Gibbs. And then, I guess my point where I was getting too tough. I'm on a complete Denny Hamlin hate rant right now because I can't stand the guy. But what has Denny Hamlin done for the duration of his career? This goes back to like the early 2010s. He was the one that patented the old-fashioned move of, I'm going to run you in the wall. I'm going to go into the corner. If you're on my outside, your only option is you're going to let off the gas and give it to me, or I'm putting your ass in the wall. I'm going to give you no room. I'm going to put your ass in the wall. I call it the Denny Hamlin move. Every time I see it at a local short track, I call it the Denny Hamlin move. It's what it is. And it's bled off to the new generations of drivers. It took us about 10, 15 years to get there. But all these young drivers that grew up watching NASCAR in the early 2010s, late 2000s, Denny Hamlin's prime, watched him do this to so many drivers throughout the years. And so now it's become a norm in the Cup Series, Tom. How many times in this race did we see drivers freaking fence each other, dude? I mean, Bubba did it to Bell. I think Bell did it to Briscoe. Somebody did it to Bowman. Somebody did it to Elliott. Priest did it to Nemechek. Nemechek does it to Zane Smith. We'll talk about that in a minute. Like, how many times did we see drivers just absolutely put a guy in the wall for no absolute freaking reason? Chicken shit, man. And now it's this disease has infested the entire Cup field. This race was unwatchable for me. I couldn't. Like, I was sitting there trying to watch this race, and it was just like every restart, you would have 3 guys running each other into the wall. What happened? Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for, too. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't wear out his right side tires at all. I'm with you. I'm with you. He rode the wall. Zane Smith rode the wall. He should be penalized. And the fact that nobody's talking about that is ridiculous to me. It always goes down at the Wendy's, bro. Out the trap, out at the Wendy's. Oh. Nope. I my mouth was freaking wide open. I just stood there at the TV, just in awe of what I just witnessed. That was dumb. That was just stupid. I mean, right when I saw him do that, I was like, here's Denny Hamlin putting another guy on the wall, and I knew he wasn't going to win the race. Instantly when I saw him do that, I knew it was over. I was like, we've seen it all day long. If you run a guy in the wall, because we saw it like 5, 7, 8 times in the race. I was like, you run a guy in the wall, you're both going to lose all your momentum. So I just like, right when I saw that, I'm like, this is Denny Hamlin. This is what he does. This is why I took him off my championship 4 list. He ain't winning it. Because this type of stuff, man, like that was just like seeing buffoonery. It was just stupid. I mean, I picked Bubba to win the race in the podcast last week, and I was extremely confident in that pick. And he should have won. I mean, granted, I'm not letting Bubba off either because he put Bell in the wall. But then I'm not going to let Bell off either because Bell put Briscoe in the wall. So it's like, no, you're good. Oh. Oh, no. Dude, you've got to be kidding me, bro. When did that happen? That couldn't have been recent. Check again. What is happening? Check.
Check.
Now it's working.
Thanks, Will.
That's unfortunate, dude, because I felt like it was working when I first opened it up. Well,
it might have just.
You know why? Because OBS has an update, and I updated it. And every time I update OBS, it does this crap to me.
The way to go.
I shouldn't update it. I should have said remind me later. But I was trying to be proactive and get the next up. Well, I skipped the last 2.
I wonder if you got my zinger though.
Yeah, I mean, you should say it again. Go for it again.
I don't remember it.
I can't even remember either.
Oh, it was getting disrespected behind a Wendy's or something like that.
Oh yeah, getting disrespected behind a Wendy's. Also, you got to get back into the Zane Smith getting the wall ride penalty. That needs to happen too. I mean, what else did you say this podcast that was great?
The penalty report. When are we getting the penalty report? Because Zane Smith needs to get penalized for riding the wall. I feel like
it's got to happen.
I think so. Why not?
Why not?
They got C. Bell for less.
Yeah, they absolutely butchered C. Bell for that. I'm still pissed about that to this day, dude.
The buffoonery. It's just the buffoonery. The absolute buffoonery.
Yeah. I just have no words for this race, man. Like, and that's why I wanted to talk about TV ratings with you, Tom, because I listened to Dickie's podcast, and he takes no ownership over any of this crap that he does, which is no shocker there. I didn't expect him to. I kind of wanted to hear his sob story, and that's what we got, and I don't gain nothing from that, whatever. But then he starts talking about TV ratings and blaming TV ratings on NFL and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and all this, like all this non-factor crap, dude. You know why the TV ratings are going down, Tom? You know why people aren't watching this crap? Because the car is garbage, for one. The racing is terrible most weeks. You've alienated your core fan base by trying to add all these gimmicks to attract new fans that aren't going to stick around. We've been telling you guys this for like 3-4 years. If NASCAR was listening, they would know. But you've completely added too many gimmicks to your race where the core racing fans, guess where they're watching, what they're watching on Sundays now? Or guess what they're doing? They're on Flow Racing, bro. There's short track races every day of the week. All around the country. All the core racing fans are now on Flow. Or they're watching IndyCar. Or watching IMSA. Or watching Formula One. They're not watching this NASCAR gimmicky bullshit no more. They're tired of it. You've alienated them. You're letting guys that finish 30th in the standings compete for a championship. You're letting guys that can't get a top 10 finish win a championship at Phoenix. You're race manipulating these races with stage breaks and putting Jesus Stone tires on these cars. Like, you've alienated your core fan base. Like, I made that video, 2 years ago, Tom, about the playoff format explained. Our channel gets comments about that video once a week. Some person watches that video and comments saying, I don't understand it. You explained it perfectly well, but I still don't understand how this format works. And
Nobody does.
I don't understand it. And I made the video. I had to do a freaking 2-hour freaking research session on how to put that video together. And then when I finished making it, I rewatched it and I was lost. And I made it. Like, 36 race point season, no stage breaks, Xfinity car. Guaranteed TV viewership will go up.
Yeah. You know what I do on Sundays now is I go start up my riding lawnmower, put my earbuds in, and most of the time I just listen to Creed instead of watching the race.
Same. I know. Insane. I mean, this Sunday I went and did all my housework and everything, and then I only watched like the last 40 laps of the Cup race. Not gonna lie, that's all I watched. And the only reason I did is because I was like, I wonder if the race is still on. It just kind of popped in my head. I was like, oh, it's Sunday. There's a NASCAR race on. Just because I watched a little bit of the IMSA race in the morning before I went to bed, and then I crashed out, went and watched the rest of the highlights after that. Then the WEC race, and then I completely forgot about the Cup. I don't even have interest in watching the Cup race. I have zero interest.
No, I really don't.
It's not even
the only time that I'll get excited to watch a NASCAR race is if it's a road course.
Same.
Or we actually have tire wear.
Yeah.
If it's anything other than that, I'm just not interested.
All the good races this year have been all of the road course races and the Richmond race and the Bristol race because we actually had tire wear in those two short tracks. Yep. Every other race has been garbage, dog shit.
Yep. Like I'll make it a point this weekend to set up the TV in the time to watch the Roval.
Yeah,
I honest to God, I think this is going to be the last race of the year that I watch.
Yeah, probably. I don't like it unless we do a watch party for the Phoenix Championship race. I probably won't watch that either. But,
right. Yeah.
But I mean, I'll watch the Xfinity races every Saturday. I freaking love the Xfinity races. I make that a point every Saturday to make sure CW is on to watch that. Like, what is it? Xfinity races are pulling what, like 400,000 people less than the Cup races are right now?
Yeah, it's crazy. Actually, they're breaking records like almost every race weekend.
I feel like we started this trend, Tom. we got on here 3 years ago and said, if you guys aren't watching the Xfinity races, what the hell are you guys doing? And now the viewership's like spiked, bro. Great broadcasts, great broadcast team. Races are easy to follow. They have side by side every commercial break, and the races are shorter, so you're not sitting there for like 4 hours to watch 18 overtime restarts and people walling each other at the end of a Cup race. I mean, we've had one bad Xfinity race, and it was that Martinsville race at the beginning there where Sammy Smith just absolutely bulldozed half the field at the end. That was really the only bad Xfinity race we've had all year. Every other race has been a banger. Even Atlanta was bearable to watch, even though it was shitty racing. You know what I mean? Like, Xfinity is it. That is pristine auto racing. The only thing that would make it better is no stage breaks. That's the only thing I could suggest on Xfinity racing. The race links are freaking perfect. The car is amazing. You have tire wear on most racetracks. We saw it this weekend with Allgaier. Stays out on old tires. If that was a Cup race, Allgaier would have won that race with flying colors on those old tires. But we're in an Xfinity race. He ain't going to be able to win that race on those tires. I mean, the talent, I feel like, is better. It just feels like a better product. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dumbass on YouTube just talking shit, but the TV ratings are simple to me. It's not NFL. It's not this and that. Mark Martin said it best. True diehard race fans are going to watch the race over a football game. I don't watch football. Like, I probably watched like maybe 4 quarters of football all year long, and those were all college football games, and most of those were Boise State and watching them get their shit kicked in. Other than that, I haven't watched any other football or anything. Like, I'm watching racing. That's what I watch. Like, diehard race fans are going to watch racing. They're all on Flow Racing right now, but I hate to tell you guys on NASCAR, if you make your own streaming platform where all the races were streamlined and cataloged, people would pay that subscription just to watch all your racing. True diehard race fans will do that. I have HBO. I don't watch anything on HBO. I have that purely to watch WEC races. I have Peacock. I have it purely to watch the IMSA races. Like, I am willing to... I don't watch that stuff. I just have it because I know that's where I find my races.
It's a hard concept. It's a hard concept, though. Like, we are, just as a reminder, we're talking about the people who get disrespected behind a Wendy's.
Step up on a brother at a Wendy's. Oh, man. I don't know. That's just the way I feel, man. The TV ratings aren't an issue, man. It's the product. People aren't gonna watch a shit product. You can blame other outside sources, but it's the product. If the product is shit, people aren't going to tune in. That's why I don't watch. I'll just leave that one alone. We'll just move on. We don't need to get canceled on a Tuesday. Let's go. Is there anything else you want to add to the Cup race? Anything at all? Anything or any of the races this weekend?
Man, how far backwards have we gone to have a race like that at Kansas?
Sad.
That's really all I gotta say.
When does IndyCar come back on?
I think March. Might be February. Whenever the Truck Series goes to St. Pete.
The only saving grace is we still have F1 on right now. That's the only saving grace. And this F1 season's been fantastic. So
yes,
we'll get into that here in a second. Let's playoff standings. Logano 13 points over Ross. Bubba's 26 back. Reddick's 29 back. Centric's 48 back. I think they're all in must wins. With stage breaks and stage cautions, and having to play strategy, I think they're all in must wins. I don't think they can race for stage points or at all. I think they have to race for the win. I don't know if you agree with that or not. I don't know if you think Ross can maybe point his way in at 13 back, but
I don't know. No,
I don't think so either.
You got to have a pretty freaking stellar Roval race.
I mean, if he does point his way back in, it would require him to not go for the win, because he would have to go for stage points in the first two stages.
Yeah.
And Logano's going to match him. Logano is literally racing Ross this weekend. That's all he's going to be doing. The whole weekend. If Ross stays out for the stage points, Logano's staying with him. If Ross pits, Logano's staying out for stage points. So Ross is in a loss the whole way. There's nothing he could do.
Yeah.
So I think they're all must wins. All right. Drivers of the week, Taylor Reimer, P5 in the ARCA race. Good job by her. She did a fantastic job. Brendan Queen, P9 in his Xfinity Series race this weekend with a dying colleague team. That is extremely impressive. Shane Van Gisbergen, first top 10 on an oval, dude. P10 at Kansas. Good stuff by him.
Yeah, suck on that.
Suck on it. Catch him behind the Wendy's.
How about that?
How about that? All right. And then for Boneheads Week, the entire 007 Aston Martin team for this pitiful weekend they put together. John Hunter Nemechek, Walling, Zane Smith. We didn't really talk about it too much, but that was just stupid. And then also Denny Hamlin, Walling, Bubba Wallace at the end of that race, costing himself and his team a chance at the next round of the playoffs. All right, let's do previews for this weekend. The ARCA Series at Toledo for the finale of the ARCA season. Trucks Xfinity Cup, all cutoff races this weekend at the Roval, as well as Formula One at Singapore this weekend. Should be a great race. Notable entries for ARCA, Matt Reeves, and then number 18 for JGR, and then Tristan McKee back with Webb in the 82. Truck Series, we got Brent Cruz buying the Tricon number 1. Connor Zilic in the number 7 truck for Spire, looking to get a double Pete this weekend. Chris Wright in 16 for McAnally, which is an interesting choice. Could be the wrong choice, but it could be the right choice. You never know. Josh Bilicki in the number 41 Nice Machine this weekend. Old PK, can he get some redemption from what they did to Big Daddy NASCAR did to him last year and win this truck race for Henderson? We'll see. And then the LaJoy Dozer model 7 in the Spire Machine. And then Connor Mosack with Junior Motorsports in the 9 this weekend. Daniel Hamrick with Colleague in the 11. Corey Day with Hendrick Motorsports in the 17. Eric Almirola with JGR in the 19. Kaz Gralla with Sam Hunt Racing in the 24 this weekend. Sage Karam in the number 53 for Gase. And then Austin Green in a 4th car for Jordan Anderson Racing this weekend. And then Josh Bilicki in the Cup Series this weekend with MBM in the 66. Time to make our picks, Tom. The Truck Series, Friday. I don't know the name of this race. I just put the Craftsman Roval Truck Race. I'm going with Zilic. Is there even another question on my mind? Not at all. No. Zilic is going to win this race and dominate it. And there's enough said there. And then my dark horse, man, wouldn't it be the greatest? Wouldn't this be the greatest season of all time for Parker Kligerman? Wins at Daytona, gets the race taken away from him by some BS, substitutes for Zilic, gets redemption for that Daytona win, doesn't get credit with the win, and now he has a chance to go to the Roval to win a truck race, to redeem himself for the Big Daddy NASCAR screw job of 2024 NASCAR playoffs. Wouldn't that be the greatest way to bookend a season for PK? What's my dark horse, man? I'm a Zillage fan. I want him to win, but if he can't win, let's go freaking PK, man.
You know what? I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think those are the most solid picks of the entire weekend for both favorite and dark horse, and I'm choosing the freaking same. And you're insane not to choose the same either. I mean, who else are you seriously gonna pick? Yeah. I mean, really, I want to know. Like, who else? Because there's literally nobody else. Corey Heim doesn't have absolute, like, Corey Heim and like Connor Zilic. Let's just think of it like water bowls, right? Corey Heim, in comparison, is like the dirty, nasty dog water that you feed to your dog out back, you know, that may have been sitting out there for a month. And then Connor Zilic is just Perrier. You know what I mean? Like, it's just bottled awesome water. You know what I mean? Like, there's just nothing there for Corey Heim, and honestly, that would maybe be his closest competitor other than PK. And so, I mean, even PK in comparison, you know, is I think better. I just think this is the most solid lineup that you can go with. And that's my justification.
It's gonna be a fun race, man. And the reason I'm taking those two is because specifically, best lineup, obviously, but they're not gonna have to race for stage points or anything. Like, they're racing purely for the win.
They're just going for it.
Yeah, and that's what it's gonna take to win this race. So, all right, ARCA series, the finale. I'm just gonna take Brennan Queen to win the race. Cap off a fantastic ARCA season. Can't wait to see what he does in the future. And then I'm gonna take LeVar Scott as my dark horse. Man, I don't know if this guy's ever gonna win a race, dude. It's like Andres Perez Part 2 with this team, and LeVar Scott just can't find victory lane. I don't know if he's gonna do it. I don't know if he can do it. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe this weekend he finally gets that ARCA
win. I'm gonna Queen for the obvious, and then for my dark horse, I'm going with McKee because 15 years old, don't give a damn, and he wins races. It's the next Carson Hocevar. It's the next, unneutered Ross Chastain. I just think that I think that NASCAR needs personalities like that, and that's something that's severely lacking and potentially probably part of the driving force for lower views. Everybody is just so Hollywood.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great pick or a great lineup as well. Xfinity Series race on Saturday. Is there anybody else to pick? I mean, he's like the greatest driver on planet Earth right now, in my opinion, and he's only 19. I think superstar. Cannot wait to see what he does in the future. I'm going Zillage. He's got 105-point gap lead, whatever. He's gonna add to it this weekend and build it for the next round. Going Zillage. Dominant performance by him this weekend. And then my dark horse, and I don't even know how it's a dark horse, but I'm picking him as a top 10 favorite. You could basically pencil it in if you're a betting man and you need somebody to take for a top 10 guaranteed payout. Take Austin Green.
For my favorite, I mean, it's pretty obvious. We're going to go with Zilic again. I really don't need to explain any further. Just top of the class. Dark horse, I just have this feeling right now. And, I've been pulling for this guy since the beginning of the season, along with Ryan Sieg. But mostly, if Ryan Sieg's not a good option, I'm choosing this guy. It's Parker Retzlaff. I just think that he got screwed over last year. He got kicked out of a seat. For some BS reasons, and I honestly think he's a great driver. And like I said, I just have a feeling for this weekend. Unfortunately, the worst part about it is he's still driving for Alpha Prime, but I think he could turn around his season a little. He's been in a pretty bad slump lately. I think he could turn it around here.
Hell yeah, I like that pick. All right, and then F1. Singapore Grand Prix. Tom called it like 2-3 weeks ago on the podcast. He said Max Verstappen is not out of this championship fight. And I didn't want to believe it. But then what does he do? Goes and puts on 2 back-to-back performances of just absolute god-tier ability. Piastri has a DNF. McLaren can't get out of their own way. They're slow now for some reason. Their dominance is faded. That feels like they're kind of limping home to the end of the season. Zach Brown is trying to find any way impossible to get Lando Norris's championship, and he can't find a way. He's beating his head against the wall with that pea brain he has. I just don't think McLaren has it for the rest of the year, dude. I think McLaren's going to be struggling, and I think the limping at home is probably going to be a little bit of an oversell or an undersell. I think that McLaren's cooked. I think this is Red Bull's time to shine. Max Verstappen is putting this team on his absolute back, and he ain't quitting. He's 69 points behind right now, Tom. That is from where we were a month ago. He's basically cut it in half.
I mean, he's cut it in half. Yeah. What was he? 115?
Yeah,
was he
got up to about 115 at one point. Yeah, so he is just eating chunks out of this gap. And if he wins out the rest of the season, it doesn't really matter what McLaren does. I don't think McLaren is going to be a podium threat every week for the rest of the season. Lando's getting desperate. Piastri's getting desperate. McLaren's getting desperate. This is a Verstappen weekend, man. Verstappen's going to absolutely put this team on his back again. He's going to win the race. He's going to put up a blistering pace. He's going to open a massive gap. And he's going to absolutely make everybody sweat. He's going to climb Red Bull back into the constructors fight in second there over Mercedes and Ferrari. And he's going to climb back in this world championship fight. He's going to probably cut another, 15 points off of it this weekend? I could say confidently. Maybe 10 to 15. Yeah, Verstappen's in the championship fight, guys. It's not over. And then my dark horse, I'm going with Hadjar this weekend. I've been extremely impressed with this RB buy one get one free Visa Cash App AlphaTauri Toro Rosso Racing Bulls team. Liam Lawson's had some standout performances recently. Hadjar's had some standout performances recently. I don't know what that team is doing. I don't know if they're feeding off that Max Verstappen aura that's just vibrating through the paddock right now. But this team is on a roll. I'm going to take Hadjar this weekend, have a fantastic performance, and score some points, maybe even a top 5 finish this weekend.
All right, I've got some reservations. Looking at it here, let's see. Singapore is Verstappen's worst track.
Yeah.
In F1. He's never won there. Has finished second twice in all the years that he's been racing. I think this weekend can really be a deciding factor. Typically, okay, here's what I think is going to happen. Either A, we're going to see McLaren excel, and they're just going to glide through the weekend. Whoever wins. If that scenario plays out, it's over for Red Bull. It's over. B, Red Bull actually builds a car for a street circuit, high downforce, highly competitive, very demanding race, and they win. Or C, it's a wash for both McLaren and Red Bull. Honestly, I'm kind of leaning in the direction of McLaren just absolutely wiping the field this weekend. We've gone to 2 tracks back-to-back that were low downforce, high-speed racetracks, and McLaren just doesn't have that car. But I think that they do have the car for the high downforce street circuit type. And honestly, I think McLaren goes back to their winning ways, and I think that Red Bull is going to struggle. Now, what does Red Bull have right now? Red Bull has that momentum. They're fast, they know it, they're confident. Max Verstappen is confident. When you've got something like that going on for you, there's literally nothing in the world that you can't accomplish. So I think Red Bull is going to be going into this weekend full of confidence, can think that they could tackle the world, and honestly, maybe they can. But looking at statistics, it doesn't look very likely. Even when Red Bull had the dominant car 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and Red Bull went into Singapore, they still couldn't win the race. I mean, they qualified decent, I think it was, 2 years ago, where they qualified like 8th and 10th or something like that? Like, what? I don't think Red Bull has ever absolutely nailed Singapore before. So I think that's the worst thing that Red Bull's got going for. But the confidence, the momentum that they got is really going to help them there. Plus, the downside to McLaren's woes is going to help them out a lot as well. But I think this weekend is going to be really interesting. You know, at the beginning of the year, we kind of put the nail in the coffin at Hungary. Was that Hungary?
Yeah.
Red Bull Ring, where we thought, well, that's it. It's over. This is McLaren's title. Wow, has that changed? But I don't know. I think things are so flip-floppy. I mean, honestly, the most unpredictable racing that you can get into right now at this point in time is F1. Nobody knows what McLaren or Red Bull or Ferrari or even Mercedes is going to be bringing to the next race. So I don't know. I think, though, that this weekend is going to be a deciding factor, though, on who's going to win the championship.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be pretty apparent. So, but with that being said, I'm gonna bank on that momentum. I'm gonna bank on that confidence. I'm gonna go with Verstappen as well. With all that being said, I don't know. I think that's such a big thing in racing, and it shows most of the time. Verstappen can absolutely win this race. Honestly, best driver in the world? Absolutely. I think he can. It just really depends on strategy, the calm and coolness of the driver during the race, and not screwing anything up. Honestly, you got to have a good qualifying position. And honestly, it's going to be really hard to win this race from 4th or 5th place. Statistically speaking, it's going to be really hard to win the race. So, I mean, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, that's where you have to qualify. And then you got to keep the McLarens behind you. I think Verstappen can do it. And then for my dark horse, I'm just sticking with it. I'm going with Antonelli. But man, what a slump he's in. What a slump. It's terrible.
It's been rough. We'll see if he could turn it around this weekend. We'll see if Mercedes can keep the fight alive in their second in the constructor standings. But this, like you said, I think this is the weekend. We're going to know a lot about this World Championship. All right, and then the Sunday, the Cup Series, the Bank of America Roval 400. We kind of went over who we think is going to get eliminated or what it's going to take to advance. This weekend, I'm going SVG. He's the most dominant on road courses. Nobody's going to touch him. Actually, there's going to be a couple people I think will touch him. And I think Tom's dark horse pick is probably one of those guys. My dark horse pick is Ty Gibbs. I think Ty Gibbs is also going to be a threat to touch him. The reason I say that is because Ty Gibbs isn't racing for points. I mean, really, if you're going to win this race, you got to be one of those top 4 guys, and you got to race for no stage points. And I think that Gibbs is going to be one of those guys. I think SVG is going to be one of those guys. I would say Allmendinger is probably one of his best tracks. I think he'll be one of those guys. And I think Reddick is going to be the one guy out below the cut line that's going to go rogue this weekend and not race for any stage points and be in that top 4 mix at the end for the win.
I got SVG, and then my dark horse, Jay already alluded to it. I'm taking Allmendinger, just because. You know, I did think about Gibbs there for a second, and then I had flashbacks of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And then I had flashbacks of Kansas. And I'm just thinking right now, if you're a Toyota driver, dude, you're not safe.
No.
You know, like you're not safe. So I would Allmendinger instead.
Alrighty. And then for fantasy lineups, I think I mentioned all the guys that I think are going to be. I think it's SVG, Allmendinger, Gibbs, and Reddick. I think those are going to be your 4 guys battling for the win. And I'm going to throw Larson in there as well. He is a former winner here. It would be Larson-esque to be a race like the Roval, where he just shows out and runs up front. So that's why I'm going to put him on my lineup.
All right, I got the 88, the 16. I've got the 19. I put the 23 just because, and I'm putting the 9 as well. For literally no reason. I think that whole quote unquote backing into wins that, you know, the nickname that Bowman got, I honestly think it just needs to move over to that 9 team because holy cow, that's the only way you can win a race nowadays. And I think, you know what better place to back into a win than the Roval.
Facts. All right, now matchups are pretty good this weekend. We got SVG versus Allmendinger. I'm gonna take SVG just because I think he wins.
Yeah, same.
Next is Bubba Wallace versus Denny Hamlin.
You're not safe.
Yeah,
you're not safe.
I'm gonna take the 23 over the 11 because Denny Hamlin. You know.
I'm gonna take the 11 because you're not safe. The 11 will wreck you.
He'll put you in the wall. He put him in the wall. All right. Next is Briscoe versus Chastain. I'm going Briscoe because Chastain's going to be racing for those points, and I just feel like it's just not going to perform. It's not going to put a good performance out there. I mean, Logano's going to match his every step, and he's going to be backed against a wall, and he's going to get desperate. It's just not going to work out for him.
Oh, yeah. I got the same thing. I got the 19.
And then Reddick versus Cindric. I'm taking Reddick over Cindric because I think he's going to be one of the guys competing for this win. I have a good feeling. I picked Bubba last week to win, and look where he was, battle for the win. I'm taking Reddick as a dark horse for this win. I think he's going to be up there battling for the win. So there we go.
I'm going to take the 2. I'm going to take Cindric. Seriously, because if you're in a Toyota, you're not safe, man. You're just not.
Well, Cindric has nothing to lose. He can't even point his way in. Like he has to straight up go for the win. That's all he can do. That's not a bad option.
Well, I don't know. With either driver, you choose either the wall or the wall. Like
Red Dick and Cindric. Oh man. Alrighty, that's all I have for this podcast on this awesome Tuesday, final Tuesday of September. 142 weeks straight of this podcast continuing on as always. We'll be back next Tuesday. We'll talk about the eliminations of the Roval. We'll talk about the NASCAR or the F1 race at Singapore, and we'll talk about if that World Championship got closer or if it's over. We'll let you guys know next Tuesday. It should be fun here on this channel. If you guys want to follow us or support us, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms. All those links are in the description below, as well as on the bottom of the screen for you guys to go follow. As well below is a link to our Discord. Come join the best racing community on the internet. All the drama, rumor, news, memes, everything for all motorsports, international and national. It's all right here on our Discord. Come join it. Post your own stuff. We love it when you do that. Interact with us. Communicate or interact with our community as we build the greatest race community on the internet. Also, a link below to our merch store. Buy you some Dega Boys swag. Get all swagged out. All those proceeds continue to help us make bigger and better content for you guys here on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit the bell notification, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to leave a like on this video so it helps in the algorithms. We really appreciate that when you guys do that, and to stay up to date with everything happening on this channel as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been another awesome Full Send Half Mast podcast, episode 142. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the races this weekend. Enjoy the upcoming races this weekend. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.